This is kind of like a look. This is kind of like a mood. Fret not, ladies and gentlemen, we have a solution. So my loose natural hair is out right now and she is dry as crap. I'm gonna do a quick little 360 spin. Today is June 7th and it is 12:05 and I have officially decided to go ahead and micro lock my hair. Now, if you're familiar at this point with the content that I've been making, I had originally been planning to go ahead and get sister locks. That was something that I really wanted to do earnestly. However, after thought and careful consideration, I do not think that that would be a good idea anymore. Okay, so real quick, I pretty much decided to cut this part of the video out and like not keep the audio in, and reason being is because I'm pretty much explaining why I don't want to get sister locks, but as you'll know by the end of the video, I end up getting sister locks, so there's really no point in me keeping like this part of it in there. Essentially what I was saying was that because of the breakage that I was experiencing in my hair, I was kind of scared and anxious to go ahead and spend that amount of money on getting sister locks established if I wasn't confident about how it would turn out, and all that sort of stuff. And I go into great detail about that. But as you'll kind of see as the video progresses, I don't know how much footage I got. I was really anxious about my parting and the consistency with my sizes, and I didn't really feel confident in doing it myself, because locks are something you have for years and I didn't want to start off on a sour note. So yeah, just keep going. This video is kind of all over the place, but just keep watching. You can't really tell right now, but there's a huge portion of my hair right around in this area that like just decided, you know what, like I don't want to be a part of what's going on anymore, and decided to just break off. Like there's a good bit of hair over here that is just gone. So my hair has done this before and this isn't necessarily a new thing. Let me adjust this a little bit. I was a little too bright. This isn't like necessarily a new thing. My hair breaks off at times, which is the reason I want to get locks to begin with. And I know that might seem a little counterproductive, but much of the reason my hair breaks off is because I have such a fine follicle. It's prone to breakage and it's really, really soft. And the only way my hair doesn't really break off is if it's in protective styles. But, you know, I kind of figured, okay, if I get my hair in locks, it's essentially like having a somewhat protective style all the time. Now, obviously, you still have to maintain it. My hesitancy going in with the sister lock process was, number one, I love sister locks when they're short, but when they grow out, they do tend to get a little smaller, and I didn't really want that look. I wanted for, you know, in the event of however my journey takes me, I did want my locks to have a little bit of girth to them upon getting a little longer. So that was one thing that was kind of like making me hesitant, just aesthetic wise. Number two, I was also nervous that with my hair being really fine and really, really soft, getting sister locks would maybe not be the best idea. Getting a lock too small to the point where it could just break off easier. And I know the routine is a little bit more specific, so I just had anxieties about that. But like, I literally had an appointment scheduled for June 12th. So this month, this Friday, a consultation scheduled for her to put test locks in my hair, and a huge patch of my hair decided to just break off. So because of that, and I told my mom that, and because of that, my mom was really wary about me getting sister locks, which is understandable. But then my mom tells me, she comes up to me and she's like, Naya, I had a dream. I had a dream that you got locks and you called me and you picked me up. You told me to pick you up and a whole bunch of your locks had broke off. So you may be able to sense where I'm going. Long story short, I wasn't sure at that point that I was willing to go ahead and spend that amount of money for something that I wasn't 100% sure how I was going to perform on its own, separate from how my hair was going to perform with it, and kind of spending that money and then having an attachment to it because I spent that money. Like, I just didn't want to go through that process. I didn't want to go through that. I wasn't sure how my hair was going to respond, and it's just a lot of money to spend with my sort of hair and not being sure how it's going to respond, if it's going to break off or not. So after a little bit of research, and like I said, I was already kind of thinking of getting micro locks, I've just gone ahead and decided to do them myself. I am currently in the process, and guys, do not judge me right now. My grid is not perfect. It is not even a grid right now. I'm still in the process of putting it in, but I wanted to go ahead and film this portion before the sun goes down. It's not perfect. I'm gonna give you guys a 360 view so you can see it. I don't even think I parted one section of it. These are just rough little parts so that my mom can help me straighten up the lines when she gets up. She's taking a nap right now, but I'm gonna show you real quick. Okay, so another thing to know, I'm going to show you this grid. It looks extremely choppy, but I'm going to be frank with you guys. It was not bad for what it was that I wanted. I was not at this point heavily concerned with trying to get a perfect grid, and I was trying to kind of dismiss this like idea of, okay, Naya, you have to have this perfect grid, you have to have this perfect thing in order to have a good set of locks. And if I'm going to be real with you guys, the job that I was actually doing was not bad. The locks were turning out beautiful and I loved them, but I could not like relinquish that idea of like having that perfect grid and having, you know, these sister locks and all these sort of things. So it was just hard for me to get rid of that and kind of dismiss that. But if you're someone who's looking to do DIY micro locks, I would still encourage you to do it if you are okay with a little bit more inconsistencies in your locks, and if you're a little bit more open-minded about, you know, the whole locks, and you're not super anal about like consistency and neatness, if you can get that on your own, that's good as well. But I just did not have that security. But I want to emphasize, if I really wanted to put those locks in my head, I could have done them, and I feel that they would have turned out just as beautiful. So I want to make that clear. If you are looking to do locks, do not let this video deter you. You can still do it. It was just superficial stuff that I'll get into more towards the end of the video that I could not like do away with. So yeah. If I can get this grid a little neater, I'll probably give you an update on that too. So see you then. Okay, you guys, so here is an updated version of my grid, a quick 360. Okay, guys, again, it was not bad. Like, looking at my grid right here, it was not awful. If I really wanted to go in there and do those locks, it wouldn't have turned out bad. The only reason you may see a little inconsistencies with my parting is because there are patches throughout my hair that are extremely short because of the texture and the type of hair that I have. There are patches that are extremely short, and then all throughout my head it's like that. I have portions of my hair that are like really short, and then the rest will be long. It's kind of hard to get crisp, even lines, but from starting it and with the help of my mom, who like helped me go through and straighten everything out, I do think that I got it to the best of my ability. I do want my parts to be very neat. That is something that is important to me, but I'm not so crazy about parting. I'm not so crazy about that. I'm more so gonna be trying to make sure that I can get my sections as consistent as possible. So when I get a section going, I'll come back and update you guys on how I'm doing and the way I went about it. Okay, so guys, for some reason, unfortunately, this is really the only footage I had got. This Snapchat little clip of me like really actually starting. My mom had got my parts a lot straighter, and you see one of the little locks on the side. I will show you more of them towards the end, but they were really pretty. I'm not even gonna lie, I like them. I had started them off as twists, but then I had ended up braiding them at the root and then twisting them towards the ends, and I was really enjoying them. It was just as I was going, like my mom had even showed me a picture of a sister lock page and a consultant's work, and it was so hard for me to do away with that process that I guess I just couldn't go through with it all in the end. But I really want to emphasize this again. Ultimately, if you're looking to do micro locks, it is your hair, it is your journey. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you can do away with all the other semantics that, kind of come with it, and you feel your texture, you can be a little bit more liberal with it, then please don't be afraid to do it on your own. Let's get started. I still look like an egg, even with this thing on my head. Is my forehead all splotchy? Okay, so that clearly didn't work out. Where to begin? I really wish that I was like better at filming like the in-between moments of processes. Like, I guess I sort of stopped, but I wonder if I have a few. Okay, let me backtrack. Everything was going good. Everything was going good, everything was going great, but as I started like the actual process of micro locking my hair, I was getting so much anxiety, and I should have filmed it. Like, I did not, but I was getting so much anxiety. Even talking about it right now, like my heart is like it was not good. And okay, let me first preface this by saying my hair is all out of the knots and stuff now, but let me see if I can find one. I want to say that the locks did not look bad. Like, here's one right now. I haven't taken them all out because I wanted to show you, but here's one, and I had a whole bunch of more of them. Here's another one. The actual locks themselves did not look bad. You feel me? The actual locks itself did not look bad. I feel like I keep saying that, but my parting, as you guys saw, was a little choppy. My grid wasn't like perfectly laid and all of that sort of stuff. And like, the thing that I know is that you do not have to have the perfect grid to have a beautiful head of micro locks. Like, you just don't. That's not the experience for everyone. But for me, for some reason, I could not like let go of the idea of, I guess, I don't know, disassociating with the sister lock grid, with the sister lock process, because it was something that I was looking forward to doing for such a long time. And as I was doing it, like, my mom pulled up these pictures, and like, they were sister lock consultant pages and these beautiful grids and these beautiful sister lock establishments, and I couldn't disassociate with the superficial process. Not to diminish it any way or the other, but I couldn't disassociate with like the superficial portion of like having the perfect grid and having like these perfect parts and having, you know, these uniform locks everywhere. And even though I know in my mind I could have easily done them myself, and I do feel like it would have been beautiful just based on what I did do in the back, because I did my entire back section. Those two parts in the back, I did that entire section, and it came out well. Like, literally, my mom looked and she was like, wow, Naya, it looks really, really good. But I just couldn't keep going, and I couldn't like I knew. And then another thing is, like, I already kind of mentioned it with the patch of my hair that's like missing. Another thing is, like, because I kind of have problematic hair, at the same time, I kind of want to give myself the best fighting chance and go to a professional and a consultant who can like really look at my hair. And yeah, I pretty much stopped. And as I was doing my, because I already had a, like I said, I already had a sister lock consultation like set up for that Friday, this upcoming Friday, which is actually today. Today is Friday. I had a sister lock consultation scheduled for today, but I canceled it in the midst of me doing my micro locks because I was like, I'm not gonna need it anymore. And as I kept going, I was like, wait a minute, what if these parts don't look right? What if all my blocks are not the same size? What if my parting like bothers me in the future? And I had already canceled my consultation, so I was just having so much anxiety. And long story short, I don't think that I was doing anything wrong with the actual micro locks. Like, it wasn't that. It was just like relinquishing everything that I was anticipating with my natural hair journey, and I couldn't let that go because I've just been, you know, doing too much research about this for like too long. So as soon as I had stopped, I had actually booked another sister lock consultation, and you guys will actually see that. I'm gonna make a separate video all about my consultation and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's actually crazy because I have micro locks over here that I did myself, and I braided it at the root and twisted it at the end over here, and then I have some test locks that are sister locks over here. So it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was at least somewhat entertaining. I know I did not like complete everything. I wish I would have got more footage, but I did enjoy, like, I do like that I at least tried this before I go ahead and start my sister lock journey, just so I know 100% sure, like, okay, no, I wanted to go about it this way. So yeah, I will be uploading a sister lock consultation video as well. I don't know if I've done it already, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. This journey is already like a little bumpy, but you know, we're gonna continue to go on, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And let me know if you're like in a similar conundrum as me, where you don't know if you want to get like sister locks or micro lock interlockings. Like, I just want to have that conversation because I know I'm not the only one. But again, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, solely love. Bye.
I was wondering if maybe you'd like to go to the beach and maybe get a coffee after.